Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
Has proved quite resourceful during qualifying. That puts them in a very good position to make the most of this race start. Alfa Romeo managed to meet expectations during qualifying, and if they can keep this up, they'll have a good race ahead of them. Tonight is a cloudy one and there's a good chance of rain. The teams will have to be flexible with their strategy for the race.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right then, time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some early points under our belt. So let's stay focused and push hard. Each driver will need to make at least one pit stop to fit new tyres. On average, a pit stop will cost a driver about 25 seconds. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. Let's set a tyre strategy for our drivers now. We need to make sure we have a good plan for when we want the cars to pit. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. Okay, strategy A is a fast but risky option, relying on 2 soft stints and no hard compound at all. Strategy B is a well-balanced option, 2 soft stints and a nice long middle stint on a hard compound. Right. Strategy C is a slower but safe option for this track. We'll tackle the final stint on a medium compound instead of a soft tyre. If you think a different approach could work, you can make changes to any of the team strategies or even create one from scratch. We can always adapt our strategy during the race, so we can respond quickly to changing conditions and stay ahead of the pack. You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage of in-race events and means we won't have both cars pitting on the same lap. That's both drivers with a set strategy in place. Right, let's head back to the preparation area and get this race started.
Cloudy skies tonight, with the drivers now having taken position on the grid. There we see Kevin Magnussen. And it's Schumacher as the second driver today. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. Will their hard work pay off today? And this is it, the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Managing pace will help you manage a car's tyre temperature and wear. Keep an eye on the tyre condition of both cars. Over time, tyre condition will fall, reducing their grip and performance, eventually leading to tyre failures and car retirement. Fuel commands allow drivers to manage their car's fuel consumption. Just keep an eye on your remaining fuel. If we run out, the car will be forced to retire. If a driver needs an additional performance push for a short time, they can adjust their ERS strategies and use any battery charge they have. There are 3 ERS strategies that deploy more energy than they harvest, but each use that energy for a different purpose. Overtake and defend are best for getting ahead of cars or for keeping them behind you. Deploy is the fastest strategy available. Harvest will prioritise charging up the battery instead of using energy for performance. Neutral will maintain the current battery charge over a lap, which gives a nice balance of energy deployment and harvesting. As the race progresses, remember to keep an eye on the planned strategy you put in place before the race. The strategy view will let you check your strategy, adjust it, or even change it entirely. The data view is also an important area to track during the race. It gives you a deep dive into race data, including lap times for all the team's drivers.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
During the race, you can use the strategy view to check on each driver's strategy and adjust them if need be. You can also check the strategy graphs to see how a car's tyre wear is matching up to the team's expectations. You can also use the car and track tabs to view more details about them. The car tab shows you current and projected component condition and fuel loads, while the track tab has more information about weather and track grip. From the data view, you can see live data from the current session. Here we can see the latest lap and sector times for all drivers, and an overview of their tyre conditions. Here you can also view how the current session could affect the drivers' and constructors' championship standings. There's plenty more to dive into with the data view, so make sure you spend some time exploring.
Is that a new race position for Haas? Let's take a look at the replay. Now just focus on the Haas. Moving up a place there. Excellent work from them. The driver's team there cheering them on. Haas with an overtake. We can take a look now. Now just focus on the Haas. A bold move indeed, and with that, they've gained a position. The team watching on and clearly loving that. Look at that!
Our
They've
driver
run
has
wide.
just entered the pit window. The pit window encompasses the laps that cover the planned pit stops in your strategy. This means it's nearly time to call the planned pit stop. Unless you think there's a reason to pit immediately, I always recommend sticking to the strategy and pitting on the optimal lap. Right, Let's talk tyres. During dry races, all cars need to use at least 2 different tyre compounds. If a car doesn't comply with this rule, it will be disqualified from the race. Ultimately, it's your decision on which tyre compounds we go for. Although I'd strongly recommend sticking to the starting strategy when possible. You can see the estimated lap lifetime for each tyre when you focus on them. Once you've decided which tyre to move to, just confirm the pit stop with the team.
Okay, we will box now, Mick, box now.
Copy for box.
No more lifting coast.
Copy.
Is that a new race position for Haas? Let's take a closer look. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. Gaining a position there. They make it look so easy. I think it's safe to say that went down well with the team. Kevin Magnussen showing us how it's done. A great result. Haas there having a very successful day at the races.
You're completely right, and what a day for all the fans of the team as well.
After the race, they sit in 7th place in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.